Good evening. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Eddie. If this is your first time here, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it just to let me know that you stopped by and hang out with me. Your participation and your interaction with the channel is always appreciated. I will always say that. So I thank you again for just hanging out with me and watching my videos and just supporting the channel. Now, I've been hearing a lot about the job market and how much of a struggle it is to find a job. And I really just kind of wanted to take this topic and to shed some more light on it by posting some stories on my channel by other people who are in the job market. And I really just wanted to highlight what they're saying and just hopefully um if you're in the job market, these stories and these experiences from these people will at least resonate with you and also let you know that you're not alone. Because I feel like a lot of people can feel that they are alone when it comes to rejection and just going through the hard process that it is to find a job. So I'm gonna go ahead and play some of these stories, some of these experiences. Just sit back, relax, and then I will also give my commentary as well throughout the video. So I'll be stopping between the stories and giving my commentary on it. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it and hope you guys enjoy.
Job market's so annoyingly horrendous that you don't even get a call back or a fucking email and you get left on red by fucking Subway or McDonald's or some other fucking low entry education fucking job that once you do finish the application process that takes forever and you give, these companies your phone number, your personal phone number, they just like throw you out to die. They just like dox your information to like white pages or something. I don't know. Like, look at this. They talk about some pay your Illinois tollway fees by February 28th, 2020. I've never driven past a fucking tollway. I've never had an interaction with a tollway worker or any of that sort. Look at that fucking email. jthegotlibem at outlook.sk. Who the fuck is that? This isn't an official fuck. Man, I'm fucking tired of this, man. When I apply to jobs, I'm not expecting to not only not get a response for months, but also like, what the fuck? Why am I getting my phone number leaked to like the outskirts of fucking white page or something? This is unacceptable, man. What the fuck?
I don't know where they got this info from, but I've gotten these toll notices, text messages on my phone. Now, I live in California and I actually do subscribe to Fast Track, which is like our toll lanes here in California. So when I got the notice, I was kind of like, I don't recall driving in the toll lane because they will send you a ticket if you don't pay. Um, so I was actually thought it was pretty legit at first until I was like, I've never experienced them texting me though. It seems kind of like unofficial, very like unprofessional. So I didn't do anything with it. And then I would say like a week later, I started seeing people talking about like the scam that it was. So I was glad I didn't pay them any money. But I don't know if they're getting their information from job boards or not. It could be linked to that. I'm not entirely sure. I hope it's not because I haven't filled out any job applications that in that particular time frame. So I don't know where they would have gotten my info from. But I do think a lot of these job boards do collect data and sell it. And because I've heard about people posting fake jobs and stuff like that. So for me, I can believe that they are using some of these job postings to collect data. Very scammy. And I think that it is taking advantage of a lot of people who are clearly serious about job searching, but you're using that to sell info because that's a big money maker too. Very, very scammy. Don't like it.
Live in the Washington D.C. area. I've now been living here for almost 2 years, which is crazy to say. I moved here like right after I graduated college. I was working at a nonprofit for like a year. I got laid off last year in May, and I've been looking for a job ever since. So May 2024. It's now February 2025. This job hunt, I think, has been the most dehumanizing experience I've ever had in my life. I think I've applied to probably like 500, 600 jobs, and probably even more than that, honestly. I don't even know how many jobs I've applied to. And I just don't understand, like, what am I missing? I have a degree. I've double majored. I have 3 internships in college. I have a year's worth of experience. I, had a good GPA. Like, what am I doing wrong? And also with, Elon and Donald, laying off a bunch of government workers, and I live in the DC area, I'm competing with them now. So I'm just lost. I would love any suggestions, tips. I'm over it.
I don't know if you guys actually understand. Well, maybe if you're in the job market, you probably do. But the time that it takes to fill out 500 to 600 job applications is crazy. I remember days where I would fill out like 2 or 3. And that was like a full-time job in and of itself because it's not just the job application, like my personal info, contact info, maybe attaching your resume. There's assessments, there's I-9 questions. Have you ever been on food stamps? Have you ever received government assistance? There's all this stuff. And I'm like, one application could take 1 to 2 hours because some of the assessments are like an hour and a half in and of itself. So when I hear 500 applications, just hearing that makes me exhausted because I would do 2 or 3 applications in a day and I want to fucking nap after that because it just took forever. There's some that I literally just gave up on because I'm like, if I attach my resume to the application, I'm assuming some of the fields will already be filled out because of what I attach. Why am I filling out an application with the exact same info that's on the resume that you just told me to attach? Make it make sense. So 500 applications, I'm so sorry that he had to go through that, especially because he has multiple degrees. So you would think that's a whole nother topic. We'll get into college and how that's sometimes a scam too, but that's a whole nother video. But having all those degrees and still being out of a job, because they tell you, get degrees, you're going to be on easy street, you'll be able to get jobs. But sometimes, especially right now in the job market where it's this tough, that's not always true. So just be careful what you do and be careful what you major in, because sometimes that's not always going to help you get a job.
I'm seeing everybody talk about the job market right now, how it's so bad and people can't get a job. Companies don't want to hire nobody. Companies want 5 years of experience but paying only 3 shillings. What? People with bachelor's degrees can't get a job. People with master's degrees, PhDs. It's so crazy because I'm not even trying to on some look at me type stuff, but I have an MBA in marketing and data analytics. And I'm a part of the unemployment group. Like, it is so bad out here. It is really bad. I have 2 degrees from prestigious universities, and I'm winging it like everybody else. I'm unemployed. Like, I'm finna go to the zoo. You feel me? Nah, all jokes aside, though, everything gonna be cool. Everything gonna be fine. It's just real trash right now. I'm just really in my Bible and praying every single day. And just being very appreciative of the things I have right now. Because it's a lot of people, they can't even put food on the table. Some people don't even have a house. Some people don't have a car. The basic necessities that we complaining about, a lot of people don't even have really a better position. So you got to be thankful and grateful for the Lord for that. So, yeah, things going to be smooth.
I do like his positive outlook on it because sometimes you just have to have that because, the job market right now is one of those things where it's like if you don't laugh about it, you might just start crying about it. He's got some really good degrees. He's got some marketing in there. He's got his MBA, which means he also has a master's. He also has a bachelor's because you can't get an MBA without first having a bachelor's. So he's got some good education under his belt. But like I just said about the last person, sometimes it doesn't always equate to a job, and he's got some good degrees and they are applicable to a lot of different fields. He doesn't have like a degree in something like that's not really going to lead anywhere. I don't want to put a degree out there because I don't want to like down anybody that has that specific degree. So I'm trying to be careful about saying that. But 5 years experience, I've seen jobs that want 5 years experience, sometimes 2 or 3. But even like 3 to 5 years experience, but they don't want to pay you like you have that. Like they want to start you off at the bottom when it comes to the pay, but they want you to have all this previous experience. So it's kind of like before, if you had that type of experience, you could come in at like as a junior or like an intermediate level employee. But now it's like you have a degree and maybe 5 years of experience. That's just to get you in the door now. Like that's just to have the conversation. Because sometimes if you don't even have that, they don't even want to call you in for an interview now. So it's so competitive that like people before they didn't have experience would still kind of get in the door, but they start off at the bottom when it comes to pay. Now those people, they probably don't even get called because now they're looking for these people with 5 years of experience. And just by the way, if you just graduated college, you probably don't have 5 years of experience, right? So sometimes it's a catch-22. like, okay, I just got out of college and that's why I don't have the experience, but I do have the education. But sometimes they want you to have both. But it's also like, if I had both, why would I settle for this pay? You know, so it's really kind of sickening when you think about it.
Interview, and the person interviewing me told me that there were 600 applicants, and out of the 600 applicants, they only selected 8 resumes, and one of those resumes was mine. So wish me luck that I was better than 7 other candidates.
Kudos to you for being chosen, because out of 600 resumes, you made the top 6. Did she say top 6 or 7? I can't remember. Whatever it was top 10 for sure. You stood out. I don't know if she got the job. We might have to do an update on her, but if she got the job, she nailed it, because I don't know how you even make the cut. I probably would have made the cut, to be honest. I never seem to make that kind of cut. But kudos to you for making the cut. I hope you got the job, but that's tough. Because here's the thing. If I would have heard that there were 600 applicants, I probably wouldn't have even submitted my resume. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's times where at jobs I've been in where I've been like trying to get a promotion, and one of the questions that I was sometimes asked before I even put in for the job is like, hey, how many people are you looking to hire? Or how many applicants do you have? If I hear some crazy number, it's like, I'm good, because you still have to put in your resume. You got to do multiple rounds of interviews. So when you hear a high number like that, it kind of, I'm not gonna lie, it discourages me a lot. It just does, because I feel like, what's the chances? Obviously, it could happen, right? But what are the chances I'm going to be the lucky one out of 600? It sounds like a lotto almost, but she seems to have made that kind of cut. So I hope she got the job. I really do. That's really, really good.
But you need to stop judging people who are on the job search. You need to stop saying things like, everybody's hiring, or the job market's not tough, unemployment is at an all-time low. Or even worse, why don't you just go get a job at Home Depot or McDonald's? Guys, I've been in recruiting for coming up to a decade, and I've never seen job seekers struggle as much as they are right now. In fact, other than the last few years, over the past decade, it has been a candidate market. Most companies I've worked with have struggled to find good quality candidates. But in this market, they are not having that issue. Especially for corporate positions, they are getting thousands of applicants. That's why we're seeing longer rounds of interviews. That's why we're seeing more assessments. That's why we're seeing companies be really, really picky. And it's why we're seeing lowball offers going out right now. If you want to know what it's like being on the job market, just think about applying to hundreds and thousands of jobs and not hearing anything from 99% of those companies. And then when you do hear back from them, it's either a scam, some kind of MLM, or they want you to go through 20 rounds of interviews only to be put up against 10 other people to ultimately get rejected. It is brutal out there.
He's not lying. He's really telling the truth. Like, anytime I apply for anything, there is a lot of times where I just haven't received any type of answer. It's yes or no. I just get ghosted. There's been jobs where I have gotten a response and I've done like the phone interview, and then I've gone to like usually a lot of companies now, they'll do like a virtual kind of formal interview where you dress up, kind of like if you were going into their office with like a nice suit on or something like that. Just virtual. I like those because I don't have to go anywhere, and I can just kind of dress up from here and not down. I actually kind of prefer that, to be real with you. And for me, when I'm on a Zoom interview, I just feel like it's a little bit less formal and I'm a little less nervous. I get really nervous in interviews and I hate that about myself, but I'm really not good at interviews. I can own that. I'm not good at interviews. I'm really not. So being at home makes it a little bit easier for me, but I've definitely been ghosted. I've been put up against multiple, I've been in situations where like they clearly have somebody in mind already. They didn't tell me about it, so kind of like a waste of time. I've been in situations where I've done 2 interviews and then they're emailing me again about a third one, and I'm just like, what are you going to ask in the third one that you didn't ask in the first 2? I'm tired of repeating myself. I don't want to keep giving you these weird examples to these hypothetical questions. I'm over it. I've even ghosted one company because they were just dragging it out and they wanted interview after interview. And eventually I just ghosted them. I said, I'm not going to any more interviews. Like if you haven't figured out by now whether you want me or you don't want me, you're never gonna figure it out. So I'm done. I'm tapped out. I'm not doing it. So I believe them. There's a lot of rounds. They're being way more picky now because they can. Like he said, there's thousands of people applying, so it's very hard to stand out now. And when you have thousands of applicants, yes, you can be more picky, and yes, you definitely can, as a company, lowball, which is unfortunate because you know that if that person doesn't accept it, there's 999 more people that want it, and I just think that's unfortunate because it puts us as the applicant in a disadvantage because we can't really negotiate and demand what we're really worth when we don't have any other real aspects. When we don't have any other real prospects for another job.
Your resume that you're just asking to upload. Blocked. Job with no salary. Blocked. 8 rounds of interviews. Double blocked. Assessment test. Blocked. A higher view interview. Blocked. Works well in a fast-paced environment. Blocked.
Let's talk about this. This is funny, but let's talk about it because I just said this. Multiple rounds of interviews. Why? Why is it so hard? And again, when I'm job searching, I hate when, like, I really cannot stand when they don't put the salary because I don't know what I'm applying for. Like, is this even in the range I want to be in? Because I don't want to go through 2, 3, 4 interviews for you to tell me that the job starts at like $10,000 less than what I'm making now. So I don't know why there's these listings with no salary. At least a range, right? You know what the max is that you're willing to pay for a candidate, and you also know what the minimum is that you're going to pay. So why not just give us some sort of range so I would even know if it's something that's worth pursuing? Because some people say that's rude to ask that in an interview. I don't think it's rude because you're asking me questions. So why can't I ask what you're willing to pay? So, but I don't want to have to get to the interview to ask what it pays. Because what if it's something crazy that I would never accept? Am I just supposed to close my laptop at that point? Like, I don't understand. I don't want to be rude, but I feel like I should know what you're willing to pay before I even submit my resume personally. And then, like I talked about that too, the assessments. Why is the assessment so long? And the questions on the assessments are so weird because it's like these, agree, strongly agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. Do people even fail these assessments? Because some of these questions, you'd have to be an idiot to answer them incorrectly, right? Like, oh, I thrive in a fast-paced environment. Who would say, maybe some people do say strongly disagree, but you have to know if you answer that, you're probably not going to get, a call back, right? So I don't like the job search. I think it's annoying. I hate doing it, but for all these people in these videos, you're not alone. I've been through it. Some of you out there are probably going through it as well. So we can all kind of sympathize with each other. I hope it gets better for us. I really, really do. I hate interviews. I hate doing them. It kind of discourages me from even applying for jobs because when I think about the interview process, it just makes me not even want to do it. So I hope you guys are having a good day, a good night, depending on where you are. Don't give up the good fight. There are jobs out there with good companies. We just have to keep fighting and clawing through the process to find what we want. But I have a lot of high hopes that we will all get what we want. So I hope you guys have a good day. Enjoy your evening or night, whatever it is. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.